friends, MD Vegan. I make breakfast with nuts, seeds and mainly fruit. That's the bulk of my breakfast. Usually fruit is easiest digestible. That means I can have a lot of energy from the fruit without having a lot work to do in the intestines. Yeah, easy to digest. That's good. To start the day, you want to boost it. And at the same time, I want to keep going for some time, and I'm going to have to eat right away again after breakfast. I want to have some break and do something, work something on my desk or something else. And for that, I eat nuts and seeds. So the fruit gets me going, and the nuts and the seed keep me going. So carbohydrates, sugar is in the fruit, and fat and protein is in nuts and seeds. That's basically all we eat, Carbohydrates, fat and protein, the three so-called macronutrients. The energy is measured in these categories, three categories. That's how we see it in the West, in the modern science. It's a little bit, science is limited. We don't understand everything with science, but we try, and it is something that is valid for everybody. So we have the individual view. It's more according to Eastern ancient science. They look at each individual, and there, of course, we learn new things that modern Western science cannot teach us. But both is important. I learn also Ayurveda. I use classes from a great teacher there. She's a chef and also a medical doctor from the West, and she has teachers in India. So that's interesting to see both sides. Not always the same, and I always wonder, what did she say now? Why is that? That doesn't fit, and so. But it's interesting to know both. You can't know everything, but you can ask good questions, and I always learn a lot. So these macronutrient things, I find it pretty helpful. I combine nuts, fruit, and seeds, and I explain that to you to understand why a breakfast is keeping, why it's filling, and it works. It works. For example, the seeds here is a granola. It's a buckwheaties. A buckwheat is a cereal, a pseudo cereal, not a real cereal, but it's a kind of cereal. It's a different kind of grass. Cereals are grasses, and these buckwheats are different kind of grass. They call it pseudo cereal. They have no gluten. Gluten is a protein. They have a different kind of protein. That's a complicated thing, but it's a cereal. It's with a grain of salt. It's also a kind of cereal. The grain and the seed, and if you sprout it, it unfolds a lot of nutrients, and then I dry it. Have these little powerhouses, the nutrient bombs. They're crunchy, dry, and to make it delicious, I use it together with a runny dressing. A fruit juice would be nice. You put the fruit juice together with the buckwheaties, and that's wonderful. The sweet and sour fruit juice, very runny, together with these crunchy seeds. Taste it, they soak again, they get fresh again, and that's very nice. But I also can take a plant milk. Today I have a almond banana cream. That's another interesting story. It has to be a little bit runnier because I have these buckwheaties that cannot have a very thick, creamy dressing. That doesn't work. It needs to be runny. So I put more water in there. And also, I hear the almonds and the bananas. I use the almonds today, together with the bananas, because I have a topping for my fruit salad that is our strawberries. I have frozen strawberries, I thawed them, and strawberries and almonds are a dream team to me. Almonds can taste a little bit bitter. They are not really nuts, but kind of nuts, similar to the pseudo cereal buckwheat. Almonds are, we know them as nuts, but they are not really nuts. It's really strange. And the bananas are kind of berries. So all these food categories from the Western science are not really fitting. There it begins to get crunchy a little bit. But still we work with that. It still works for our purposes. We treat almonds as nuts and bananas as regular fruit. Put it in a fruit salad or blend it with a banana, and you have a wonderful banana cream, almond banana cream. The almonds, as I said, together with the strawberries that come on top, and the bananas with the almonds. But I cannot take too many almonds because you see, almonds have a brown skin, you know. The skin, the brown skin, make it coarse. If I take too many almonds and blend it with the bananas, it gets coarse. It doesn't taste so nice. You know, when they have a cream, it should be nice and creamy and smooth. And when you have too many of these brown nuts, or hazelnuts, similar problem, too many of them, it gets coarse. So I have a very small amount of almonds. That's why cashews are easier, because they don't have this brown skin. Blending cashews with bananas is so totally easy. You can't go wrong with that. But you can go wrong when you take too many almonds. So a small amount of almonds only and 2 bananas. I blend that in my power blender. That's the perfect tool for making breakfast, because when you blend anything you blend in a power blender, it's very easy to digest. You get even more energy from the same food when you blend it or when you not blend it. That is scientifically proven. Very interesting. You get more nutrients from the same, because the cells are broken down, and then you get all the nutrients easier. Otherwise, you can't get them. So blenders, I like the blender for that. It's very economic. You get more nutrients. That's what you want. You know, that's what basically we want from food. We want the nutrients, right? That's why we eat it in the end. So blending it with the power blender, the bananas and the almonds, and I add, for the nice flavor, add some lemon that makes it fresh, antioxidant, and some dates to balance that, 5 dates here, and a nice amount of cinnamon, almost a tablespoon. Not too much again, because also the cinnamon is also coarse. It is a bark, and the bark, that means it is you cannot break it down so much. It always remains a little tiny dots. They are very hard, and if you take too much cinnamon, it tastes amazing, super healthy, super high in antioxidant, even more than lemons, but very healthy. But when you take too much, it gets coarse again. You taste it, it's scratchy and so not nice. So a small amount of cinnamon, a small amount of almonds, that should do the job. And a lot of water I need today. I begin with a cup. That's a lot for my dressing, because it has to be runny, because of the granola, the buckwheaties. Blender dance. The first blending is only to break the ingredients down. The second blending, and a minute later, is to make it really nice and smooth. They need to soak now. The almonds and the dates especially, they are hard and dry. They need to soak a little bit now, and they soak easier when they're broken down. You could as well, when you don't have a power blender, you can soak nuts and dates ahead of time, 2 hours or 4 hours or so, and then they are softer, and then you can blend them in a regular blender. Also work, blend a little bit longer, and you get also the same creaminess. Let's taste it. A wonderful flavor. I can almost taste the strawberry in here. Banana, almond, date, lemon, cinnamon, that really points at the strawberry. So that's good, but it is still a little bit coarse. It's only broken down. It needs to soak for a minute. Then I give it the final touch in the second blending. Meantime, I show you my fruit salad. The main part is 2 fruit only. Very simple. That is always nice, you know. I go to a shop, I see something. Oh, a wonderful pear. How could I use it? Yeah, that is an easy one. But then I find, wow, the pear I could use, let's say, with a grape. Yeah, you have grapes, they are also wonderful. They have a wonderful flavor, these grapes. Also happy to find them. They taste really nice. You really like the sugar in the grapes is so high, and this one tastes so nice, a sweet sour flavor, and the red color here, that's very significant. That's makes the grape usually super healthy. Resveratrol is in the red color, and this is just a similar pear, regular pear, very simple. Both are very local ingredients here. In Germany we get in the winter time and in the autumn especially, we get always grapes and pears. The grapes not long anymore, it's a little bit late in the year, but we have still some grapes. And I think they are great together in a fruit salad. They are juicy, they are a little bit more fibery, and I like them together. A little bit bitter, the pears, a slight bitter flavor in the peel, and the grapes have a lot of sweetness. They are famous for. They need to be sweet because they make wine of it, and that needs some sugar. So that's very famous, the grapes. But the most significant thing in the grapes is the red color, the resveratrol. That is immensely healthy for the arteries, for the blood vessels, and many other things. It is a very, very healthy thing, this red color in the grapes. They even sell supplements for it, but it's in peanuts too and other fruit. But really, eating the fruit, or the ingredients itself is better than getting supplements if you don't need to. So the grapes are wonderful for that. Highly recommended. I always try to have some home. I love the grapes as a snack or so. Always, it's nice before I go to bed when I have a little thirsty or so. I don't want to drink something. I eat some grapes or something like that. And it's nice for a fruit salad, nice combo. And I will put the dressing right over it. And for that now, I blend it one more time and we'll check if it has the right texture. One more blender dance. Looks good, gets a little bit warm, that's nice. The blender is a fascinating tool. It can even make the food hot. But basically it breaks it down and changes the texture, and it opens up all the nutrients. That's wonderful. Let's taste it again. The texture is nice, it's runny enough for the buckwheat, I would say. Yeah, add a little bit more water, a small amount, and one more quick blending. Just a tiny little bit. It's a very personal thing how much more you want. All I know is it had to be runny because of the buckwheaties. Because that's not nice if they're too dry. The dressing's too thick. That's not nice in the feeling. It has to be runny, that I know. But how much water exact, that is something very hard to describe, you know. But now it's very nice. Yeah, it feels good. I show you what it looks like. It's a lot now, but that's good. Small amount of fruit here, 2 cups each total, so a little bit soupy, but that's okay because I have this buckwheaties. Without the buckwheaties, I have a thicker dressing, of course. It will be much thicker, but the buckwheaties, they are dry, and that's good to have a soupy dressing here. A lot of dressing. It's wonderful to have these buckwheaties to cover it in that dressing. But I want to see the buckwheaties in my glass. It's a balloon glass, they call it. put the buckwheaties on top, on the bottom I mean, here. I make a little mold inside so that it can be a little bit outside, a little higher. See the sides, and inside I put the fruit salad together with the cream. Yeah, wonderful. All fruit salads, all of these breakfasts, all these granolas are so different. Yeah. It begins all with the main fruit salad. That's a grape, the grape and the pear. That's the start. Or I can also begin with the topping here, the strawberry. That's actually what I did today. I wanted to try some strawberries on top. Here, this is it's a metal container, as you see, and it's on a hot water bath. It sits, and then the strawberries are thawed. In 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they are thawed, and then they release the juice here, the strawberry juice. And when I begin with that, I want to have a breakfast with these strawberries. I want to use my frozen strawberries. It's a good thing to have frozen fruit at home, inexpensive, available all through the year, and full of nutrients because they freeze it directly from the field, keeps a lot of nutrients, otherwise get lost. So that is a good thing. How to use them in a delicious way, it's a question. And then I think, would be nice to thaw them, then the juice comes out, and it is beautiful to see the juice leaking into the cream. So I need something creamy like this. For example, that's one way to do it. So I put now the strawberries on top of my fruit salad. That's one way to start a recipe. How can I use the strawberries? That's what I did today. And then we ask the other questions. For example, do I need granola, something with the buckwheaties, or rather not, maybe some nuts? And with the buckwheaties, I decide for the buckwheaties, of course I know I have to have a runny dressing for the fruit salad. So, because the buckwheaties need a runny dressing. And these kind of questions I answer, and then comes the solution. So I put a little bit of the juice on top of my fruit salad. So because I want this red, beautiful red color from the strawberries, I want it all over the fruit salad, so that the red color can leak into the dressing, the cream. And I like to see that. I show what I'm talking about here. You see, this is the red color I'm talking about. These red strawberry juice. I like that, to see that. I find that beautiful. And it tastes, of course, wonderful. It tastes like strawberries, Of course, fresh strawberries from the field are always better. Sun ripened strawberries from the field, nothing better than that. But if you don't have that, you live in a city, you need to be a little bit inventive. And the freezer is a great way to have strawberries and other berries all over the year. And this is a nice way, creative way to easily use them. I could have also used date mousse, for example, to stir in a little bit date mousse, maybe some cinnamon or so, to make it a nice kind of marmalade, a jam or so. But it is okay like that. I have it now with the creamy dressing here, the runny dressing, and the fruit salad for the granola. So that's how a little bit try to explain to you a little bit the creative process, how I make a recipe, because in the end, the method of take 3 I use is a systematic approach to embrace the endless vegan variety. When I was a chef before I went vegan, I cooked all my life in the family, and so always cooking. I never thought about variety. I used what I got. I always liked new things in the kitchen, but when I focus on plants only as a vegan, the whole new world opens up to me. The whole plant-based endless variety is a whole different story, and that only begins to unfold when you're really vegan. And also the science, we see it in the science too. Before 2014, before the global vegan movement began, as the Vegan Society in London found out, they had a 70 years anniversary, not 2017, of 2014, and they published a paper, a long paper where they explained the history. And they said that at that year, all of a sudden, the vegan movement exploded globally. You see the Googles, the posts, the restaurants, the questions, the money came in. So it began 2014, and at the same time, the big scientific studies have been published. The first ones from Oxford and so, that really vegan is the healthier diet. I didn't know that before. So all this kind of knowledge came together, the research came together, and then everything happened. Now we know so much more about our food, about plants. Now the doctors begin to study nutrition. They didn't do that before. You know, my mother has a doctor who knows nothing about food. They didn't learn that in universities. That begins only now. We learn so much. The chefs learn so much, the scientists learn so much, and the people on everyday people, they also learn so much about the veganism. It's the biggest movement we have, I would say, the most consequential movement, and it goes to the root of the main problems of our civilization. I would say that we treat animals not as our equals. That's really the biggest mistake we made. It began 10,000 years ago when the people began hoarding. Yeah, but that's another story. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. If you like my video, subscribe, MD Vegan. Oh, by the way, there's another video linked under this video, how to make buckwheaties. If you want to do that, that's very simple. But you can do it on your own. You can also purchase buckwheaties. You can take any kind of granola for that. But just for you to know, buckwheaties are easy to make. I show you how. Again, thanks for watching. Have another video, another recipe every single day. Subscribe, MD Vegan, and find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.